The other time I came upon a video that was teaching how to meet your inner child, and how to hold space for the traumatized aspect of us, of this inner child, so to speak, and how to keep meeting that version of us over and over again. Now, the context to the video was that we were never parented on how to handle our emotions. So it all, according to the video, it all boils down to parenting that vulnerable aspect of us, which I agree with. But I also want to add to that and say that to actually be able to process our emotions without, going in a loop or spiral, we need to also know the aspects of mind in itself. If we don't know what is generating our emotions and we keep parenting ourselves whenever, which I'm not mitigating or invalidating in any way, if we keep meeting the vulnerable aspect of us without understanding the source of where the emotions are springing from, then it creates a kind of loop that will have us going through cycles and cycles of the same pain coming from the same source, if that makes sense. So by what do I mean? First of all, we are to understand that, well, let me zoom in a little bit. We are to understand that the three aspects of mind are the unconscious, the three aspects of the ego, which is the physical mind. I'm not talking about the higher mind. I'm talking about the physical, the unconscious, the subconscious, and the conscious mind. This one deals with beliefs. This deals with the emotions. It's a reflector for our emotions. And the conscious deals with thought patterns. So, unconscious, subconscious, conscious together makes up the ego, which I call the tri-mind. So, conscious, subconscious, conscious. With this in mind, first of all, we ought to know that the unconscious mind, like I said, is the repository for beliefs or belief systems, if you will. But if we don't know how these three parts of the physical mind interrelate to each other, and we keep focusing on just one aspect to be nurtured, then it's going to create a loop where we're not going to be able to actually get to the root of where the emotions spring from. For instance, if one has an unconscious belief that I am not enough, right? Unconscious, I'm not enough. This influences both of them. The unconscious influences the subconscious and the conscious. So by thinking one is not good enough, it influences the subconscious to feel emotions of not being good enough, which can be what? Which can be resentment, which can be hate, which can be envy, depending on the situation or the circumstance. And will consequently influence the conscious mind to produce similar thought patterns. If one believes you're not good enough, then you're going to have constant thoughts to prove why they aren't good enough. Like, oh, maybe it's because I don't have this, I'm not good enough, or because I don't have that. We all think, so needless to explain how thoughts occur. But the main point I'm trying to make here is that if we don't attend to this unconscious mind and let go of the belief that one is not good enough, then nurturing this part of us, let's say if we start to feel self-loathing or self-hatred or self-disparagement, or let's just use a simple emotion like self-pity, yeah? If we are feeling self-pity or fear, let's just use fear. If we are in constant fear that we are not good enough, it is okay to meet that part of us that fears not being good enough, right? But if we keep meeting that aspect of us and nurturing, saying it is okay, we take deep breaths, we regulate our nervous systems, all good practices. But if we don't make sure that the belief of not being good enough isn't let go of, the nurturing is basically pointless, because you're going to nurture and it's going to loop itself again, because there's still an unconscious belief that you aren't good enough. So this is what I wanted to bring, people's attention towards. I talk about this relationship in my book, where I say, for introspection, right, which is meeting ourselves, one must first go upward, not below, into the unconscious, upward into the unconscious, to find, discern, release, and redefine one's beliefs. This redefinition or substitution of a disempowering belief for a more empowering one thus then stimulates the conscious mind to produce similar thought patterns. If one substitutes your belief of not being good enough for an empowering belief of I am good enough, then it stimulates the conscious mind to produce similar thoughts, to actually prove why we are indeed good enough. And overall cognitive awareness with consequential reflection to the emotional discharge from the body through the subconscious. Enlightening emotions of love, of joy, when one starts believing you're good enough. Through the subconscious, the emotions that are now, I would say, amplified will be enlightening emotions of love, of joy, of passion, etc., etc., reflected as reality. So, just food for thought. Unconscious, subconscious, conscious. Unconscious deals with belief systems. This is where we have to pay attention to most of the time, to let go of whatever beliefs we have that is influencing the subconscious, which deals with the emotional aspect of us, as well as the conscious that deals with similar thought patterns. I hope this helps you in any way.